Hey everyone, welcome back. I've got Todd Adams, founder of SEAHOLM, brand based out of Austin, Swiss made. Hey Todd, great to see you.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
My
This is
pleasure.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got some really cool packaging here. We'll definitely get to that. I don't know
thanks.
if you can see this, but yeah, we'd love to first of all, tell us about what it is to be a watchmaker based out of Austin, working with multiple continents. Tell us about the brand and how it was founded.
Well, the brand was founded in 2015. We actually started a little bit before that, but we worked with some designers out of Switzerland that are great guys. A group called White Brand Design. They've designed everything from some pretty classic watches that you've seen before to some of HYT's models, which are really high end type stuff, but. It took us a while to find the right fit as far as designing goes. We wanted to build watches from scratch. We didn't look at a manufacturer where we might look at different pieces and parts and put them together. We built our watches, basically, from the beginning, from scratch. And we started in 2015. We did prototyped and developed for almost 3 years, and then we launched in 2018. So we've been, kind of working to build the brand and kind of doing it in a slower way. We've developed by word of mouth for sure, and that's been great. But my background is a little different too. I'm not a watchmaker by trade. I worked in the outdoor industry. I worked for a company called Yeti Coolers for 7 years prior to this. So I come from a different kind of world and a different mindset maybe about what I wanted to see in a watch and what I thought about how watches should work and perform, and that's how really SEAHOLM developed.
And so what was that thinking that you wanted to see in a watch? It sounds like
Well,
they're all pretty rugged.
Right. It's a little more durable. We do make a more durable watch. They're all tested to the highest standards for water resistance, and that's very important to us. So we test each one in water, in a water chamber, and we do hot plate testing before and after to make sure there's no condensation. We also have an iron Faraday cage around it, so it is anti-magnetic. And they are all also more shock resistant. We have a proprietary mount that we use that we actually did test by dropping them from 10 feet off a ladder. We had a firm in the US that did it for us because we asked some of the Swiss testing firms and they didn't understand why we would want to make it more durable. So we did our own testing. We do have a more durable watch, and that kind of came from my background in the outdoor industry where performance is really important. So, when you bring a new product to market, people ask about the performance metrics and what we wanted to do. And you can see that on our website and a white paper we have as well is we tell you how we tested it. We tell you what we've done, how we've developed it, and why it's different. So instead of just saying we have a durable watch, we can tell you how durable it is.
That's cool. I mean, I think people are drawn to that. So let's look at the first one. There's a limited edition, and those of you, I don't know if you can see these packaging is super cool. There's a compass. So maybe since we're looking at it, tell us about the idea to put this in as part of the.
Well, we didn't want to just provide another box for our packaging. What we wanted to do is have something you could use. So those tubes that we make are completely watertight. We have a lot of people that use them, for outdoors and boating and things like that, or they throw them in the back of their truck or car or whatever, put whatever they need in there and they use it. You can also, put a little safety kit or something in there, strap it to your backpack. You've got a compass like that. So it is a little different. It's something you can use. You don't put your box in your closet. So it's a little bit different.
It's really cool, honestly. I have not seen this. I've seen a lot of watch packaging. Okay, so we've got this limited edition.
Right.
It may be hard to see, but there is an actual number on the dial. So how many are there of this piece? And tell us about it.
There are 500 of them. And so it is a limited edition watch. It is different from other limited edition watches in that each dial, right above 6 o'clock, has a limited edition number on it. So each dial is handmade with the number. So we go 001 through 500. So we have a lot of people that some want a low number because they're want a limited edition, low number. Other people say I want 125 because it reminds me of XYZ, or because my brother's birthday is 12/5, or my birthday's 12/5, or I've turned 50, I want 50, whatever that might be. We get a lot of people asking for different numbers for different reasons, and you can see the number on the dial. Yeah.
And can people reserve those numbers? I know a lot of people in
Asia sure you can. You can just shoot us a note on our site and say, hey, do you have 125? And we can tell you, and we can get it for you if you have it. So
that's great, and it's got this really cool typeface too. I don't know, it's just distinctive.
It's just real. It actually comes from a very old military design that kind of had some bigger font and numbers on it. Everything's loomed, so like when you do go into a dark area, or if you go to have dinner or whatever and come in from the light, the number glows, SEAHOLM glows, every hash mark glows. So it's really distinctive. People really like it because people notice it.
There's no missing. I mean, you definitely, no matter how your eyesight is, you're going to catch this. And I should say, before we even tackle the others, these are all automatics, right?
Yes. So they're all Swiss movements. We use Solita movements for the 3-hand watches, and then at 2894 for the Chronos.
And everything is sort of designed and conceived and out of Austin, but then made in Switzerland.
Yeah, made and our design team in Switzerland we had really firm ideas of what we wanted aesthetically, but they were so good at building a watch. I mean, it's really quite different to have a really well-made built watch compared to one that kind of comes from pieces and parts, and you can tell a difference in the quality when it's kind of built from the ground up, and so that's what we wanted to do, and we wanted to use the best guys to do it, and they really helped us then kind of find, from a major manufacturing point of view, really, really good partners there as well. So. And
this was that agency you mentioned at the start.
Yeah.
What are they called again? Did you
White
say?
Brand Design is the name of it. So
Out
they've won, I think, 6 Red Dot awards. They're very, one of the few designers that are very, kind of talked about in a lot of different brands use from time to time. So they've been around a while.
In Geneva or Zurich or?
They're based out of Neuchâtel, really, actually. So a little different, yeah.
Yeah, but that's harder watchmaking, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great. Well, so we've got the next one, I believe, is a chronograph. Let's see what we've got. Again, love the packaging. Surfer's Journal for anybody who's a fan of.
Yeah. So with those tubes, we've also done from time to time some custom stuff like that with the Surfer's Journal. They're selling them on their site, and so you can buy kind of a special package through them of our watch.
Oh, that's great. That's going to catch a lot of people. So tell us about the chronograph.
So the chronograph is kind of a basic chronograph. I think it's from a design perspective, and that's the blue one.
Yeah.
We kind of have a pink chrono hand there. So it's a little bit different from a design perspective. It's kind of cool that way.
Mm-hmm.
We don't use a tachometer. We use a telemeter. So we call that one the flats watch. And
what's the difference between that?
The reason being is that a telemeter tells you distance.
Okay.
Back in World War I, they used it to triangulate mortar shells, so they could see the flash of the mortar, hear it, and they knew how far away it was by running a telemeter. So we do that for people that are out on the water, or if you're out in open spaces, you see clouds, a storm is building, you can use that to tell you if it's coming or if it's going away. So it's one of those things that we have a lot of kind of fishing guides and fly fishing guides that use them, and they spend 200 days a year in salt water, but they'll use that feature when they're out on the water because they just don't know if it's coming to them or not. So, and those things move pretty fast, a big storm. So that's what they'll use it for. It's kind of a neat function that actually they use.
They can actually use, but even if they don't, I think a chronograph appeals to a lot of people just for just for what it conjures. And also, I forgot to ask, what are these priced at?
So, we start with our Rover, which is our field watch.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
1895. The dive watch, which is called the offshore, is 1995. The limited edition is 2,500, and those chronographs are 34.95.
Okay, so there's kind of range. I should also say the chrono. Oh, sorry, that was a little tool, I think, to adjust the bracelet, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
it comes with an extra strap just to change
Yep.
out in a really cool bright yellow that you don't often see.
Yeah, so when you put that with the blue, and the pink, it really is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's fun. All right, let me tuck this guy back in and see if I can get maybe the field watch or the dive watch. I can't recall which one's which, but we'll find out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We'll get
talk
there.
about it when you get them.
All right, let me put, again, really, the compass is cool. I mean, it does seem like a very natural fit for these outdoor, these outdoor pieces.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, now we've got the dive watch.
Right.
So, and were these all introduced? Are any of them newer than the limited edition is pretty new?
No, when we launched, we introduced 9 models.
Oh, wow.
The reason we did that is we did, and we are opening up retail locations. So we are in some locations that sell, your typical kind of luxury watches, which, Rolex, Tudor, Panerai, whatever. We are in doors like that, but we're also in doors for higher end kind of outdoor equipment for hunting and fly fishing. So that's a whole kind of different world and market compared to kind of the luxury collector and people that know a lot about watches. We sell to some outdoorsmen and people that use them, but they don't really know what an automatic watch is. They hadn't seen one before. We've had people call us and say, "Hey, you sent me my watch, it's broken," and I'm like, "Well, just give it a shake," and they shake it and they're like,
"Oh no,
are you kidding me? What is this?" So
yeah,
it's a little different world, and it's kind of interesting to see the light go off when they realize what an automatic watch is. It's pretty cool.
yeah." It's kind of wild. Those of us who are so entrenched in the world of watches, you're like, "How did you not know?" But of course.
Yes, it's amazing how many people out there, especially men, that don't know much about watches or nice watches or an automatic watch. And I've had plenty say, I would never buy a watch, at that price point, and I wear, a Timex or whatever, and like, just put it on, just give it a try, and once they get a nice watch on, they're hooked. So.
Yeah, well, let's cover your last model that we have here, which I believe is going to be the Rover. And then I can ask you a little bit more, a few questions that have bubbled up. So this one's got a cool white dial. So was this one of your, well, I suppose you just said you launched at 901. So tell us about the Rover.
So the Rover is, a kind of basic field watch, although we did make it more durable and highly water resistant. So, it's a watch, you wear every day, all the time. And that's what we wanted for all of our watches, is that, when you put it on, you don't take it off, you wear it, and you wear it all the time. And, so if you swim, if you, whatever you might do, it stays on your wrist. And so, the Rover is a great field watch, but it also is aquatic for us. I mean, you can use it, in the water and everything like that. And when we designed them, we wanted them to be really easy to read and functional. We wanted that to be kind of our core of what we do. And so everything, when you take a quick glance, you can see very easily what the time is. We wanted to use big numerals, hands that were easy to see, double dome crystals, so there's no glare or distortion. Everything like that. We wanted it to be a real functional, easy to use timepiece.
Yeah, I'm looking at the crystal. It looks great. Super. It just has a really nice feel to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and very legible, which again is key to these adventure watches. I'm wondering. So you mentioned you're going to be or looking to expand into retail. Is the Austin headquarters, is that a focus? I mean, do you promote that as sort of a Texan sensibility on Swiss?
A little bit here and there. I mean, it's who we are and where we are. although for us, what's important are the watches. You know, it's the design, it's the durability, it's the use and the easy to read part of it. But Austin's home, you know, I've lived here for 25 years. And so, you know, it's part of our life and it's part of our DNA and who we are, but we don't, you know, say, yeah, we're not, it's not who we are as a brand. It's just part of who we are, you know, as we kind of built the company. But for us, it's really about the durability and, you know, the features that we've kind of built into these watches that are kind of different from anything else out there.
And so you came from the outdoor industry, and you mentioned Yeti. What, were you an enthusiast? Were you a collector already, or how did you decide?
You know, I just like a lot of different people. I guess people come to it at different ways from different points of view. It just, you know, I don't know what got into me, but I just, you know, started getting interested in watches, and I was one of those people that didn't really know what an automatic watch was 10 years ago, and I, you know, bought one and I was like, well, this seems broken, and same kind of thing. And I got really interested and excited about it, and, you know, just kind of my personality. Then I go down the rabbit hole of wanting to learn everything about them. So I did, and, you know, started like some others where I modded Seikos and different things, and got into, you know, working with the movements and looking at them. And, you know, I just grew to love them. And really, I think it's, you know, from my point of view and my age and having children, and, you know, you want something kind of nice that one day you want to hand down, or you know, something you build that will last a very, very long time, that people can use and do anything with and they'll last. And that's really kind of our ethos. You know, that's, you know, we want them to be used all the time, and we want people to have them for a long time. And it's how we work as far as customer service. We do all of our repairs here in Austin. We do them in a few days to a week, maybe, if we do have any kind of issues. So, you know, we've had people drop them and crack a sapphire crystal. We fix it in a few days and send it back. So, you know, unlike a Swiss brand or anything like that, where, you know, you're going to send it back for quite a long time, it's not, you know, how we work. But yeah, so it's a little bit different, and we wanted to launch 9 watches so that when we did put them into retail doors, when they did sell a watch, we can replace it with very easily, and they can, you know, go on and keep selling. If the Blue Rover does well for them, then they can sell, you know, quite a few of those in a year if they want to. So it's not where you kind of get a few watches, and once you're sold it, you don't get another, and we just kind of work from a different perspective. But
and is the easiest way for people to buy them now, is it on your site, SEAHOLMautomatic.com, or?
Yeah, SEAHOLM Automatic is the automatic.com is the easiest way, depending on your location, and you can find out where we have retailers. So, you know, we are mainly in Texas, in the South right now. We do have some in DC and California. So, but we're growing.
And what's next? What's 2021 looking like for? I mean, I guess
Great
that's the question of the year.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah, exactly. I think we had a lot of plans for expansion in 2020, especially in the retail doors. That all, you know, changed with a lot of them not being open. So it's still our plan, and it's still what we want to do. But, you know, it'll take a little more time now. But, you know, we do have an online site. You can buy from us direct as well.
And just in the 2 years since you've launched, how have you mostly connected with people? Have you done a lot of social media? Have you? I mean, prior to this, you're going out and done events.
Well, we've done a lot more kind of in the outdoor area than we have done in kind of this area, the luxury watch area, and we have grown really by word of mouth. People get them, wear them. Their friend, their brother, their dad buys one. They might buy 2 or 3. So that is really how we've grown. You know, same for retail doors. Once kind of someone buys one, then we get quite a few that come and buy. So, you know, we don't have a, you know, big marketing budget. We're not splashing a lot of cash that way. Although we do stuff in the Surfer's Journal and some outdoor magazines. We tend to be more targeted and kind of have grown word of mouth.
It's great to see, and even today, just how many American brands there are from an industry that was so big, in the early 20th century, late 19th century, to virtually non-existent from the 70s on. It's pretty amazing to see what's happened just in the last 5 years.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, I mean, in 2015, really, when we kicked in, even Tudor was not back in the U.S. market at that point. So from really in 5 years, I mean, there was not much in the micro brand world, and it's great to see all these people, doing, different things. And I think it's a testament to the fact that there is a world and there is a market here that for men that really like a nice watch, and it's getting it on them and having them experience that, but they come around once you do. So
yeah, for a market as mature as the U.S., there's still so much growth. It's really it's something else. I think as more people learn about the wristwatch, and obviously even the Apple Watch has probably played a role in that.
Yeah, it may be.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that connection sometimes, but there's still a lot of men that don't necessarily want to wear an Apple Watch. It's just not who they are.
Right, but just that talk about a watch, just hearing the word watch so much and realizing there's a conversation around watches, I think,
And I think, from our, for a while there, watches, kind of with the quartz watch, just the quality wasn't there. And unless you had a, Rolex or some of the other watches, you just didn't feel like you got a quality watch. And it kind of diminished people's capacity or enjoyment of them. And when you put a nice watch on somebody's wrist, they do get it. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Todd, it's really great to meet you and hear about SEAHOLM and the inspiration and see these cool watches. They have a great heft to them. They feel really nice.
You.
So
thank you.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you somewhere down the line in person. But thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah, it's just crazy days.
Crazy days. All right, well, thank you so much. Thanks, Todd. All right, well, next up, we've got Altivo.com presents the Casio G-Shock with Ariel Adams, founder of A Blog to Watch, up next at 5 p.m.